more alive for longer, and you're going to deny Sand King and Chen's game.
The first time we saw that was EG versus Complexity. EG ran it was up against the Complexity Sand King plus Chen, and they ran Beastmaster Coddle against it.
Just spammed axes with Blast. It was really cool.
So Tiny is going to be kind of similar in that regard. I'm not sure if he's going to be as good as Beastmaster against it, but we'll see. Sand King going to be slowed down here. They're going to get the Riptide as well. That's double minus armor on top of an Ancient Apparition with the Orb of Venom there as well. They might be able to run him down. In fact, they're tanky enough. They can freely dive the tower. And Sand King, he knows it too. He's going to die to Unison Fun's Gush. That will be your first blood, not just the Bounty Rune. Actually, Ritsu got the other Bounty Rune as a result, because Final Tribe left it behind while going for that kill.
Good start for Final Tribe, whose lineup I do favor. I think it's easier to execute. I think the one-on-one counters are nicer too.
Yeah.
So you see AUI come in as a Chen. He's just going to right-click this OD. Not something that you see very often, but...
Yeah, why is he doing this? Is this because he doesn't feel like he can go top lane very easily?
Yeah, I think he's adjusting to the pace of the game. Plus, like, he's supposed to help his SF out, right?
Yeah.
You get Bryle some souls, make sure that he has a decent time going in. Like, once Bryle has like 5-6 souls, you don't really need to help out too much. And he's already up to that already. So.
First minute spawns, and he will search for his first creep. It's going to be Satyr. Yeah. So we'll see if he goes to top lane or mid with that spamming creep.
This is my least favorite part about Void, by the way, is that you don't provide a lot of offensive potential for your support. So AA's game is going to be slowed down as a result.
Yeah.
Like, what is Sand King supposed to do to help Ritsu out against a Tide Naga, right? Like, he's getting some right clicks off, but the other issue too with Ritsu's hero is that level 1 time walk is so bad.
Yeah. You can see here, Moonmeander drops pretty low in that top lane. Has to salve up.
It seems really like counterintuitive to shove in the wave, because it feels as though you're giving the Sand King farm, but you're denying Chen's game in the long run, which is very important here. Because if you see the Chen, like, he doesn't want to play this bottom lane. It's pointless for him to play this bottom lane. He wants to play between mid and top. And for him to do that and be useful, actually have like an impact on this game, he has to have that option of going top.
And sure enough, AUI is going to go try and gank up mid lane. Not going to work out though. Era pulls the creep wave all the way back.
You see what he did though? He pulled the wave so that they could go for the dive.
Yeah.
With his creep wave coming in. Like, it's really smart play.
Goes for the send back on the creep.
Yeah.
So apparently he really wants to be able to keep the Satyr Tormentor, and he'll come back with another 4 blasts.
Look at the kind of start too that he's given Bryle now.
Yeah.
17 last hits, 10 denies, 7 denies, or 7 denies, 10 last hits.
Yeah, Era's not too happy at only 6 and 2.
The other 2 lanes though should be going pretty good as a result though.
Well, this Keeper of the Light doesn't have an easy camp to pull off of because the ward is blocking it, so that is a bit unfortunate. Barely missed it with the Sentry. So that was supposed to kind of rectify the fact that you're kind of shoving in the lane constantly. If the Chen doesn't come up, you can go for this pull. The Chen is going to head up there now. We'll see how he actually goes for it, because Moonmeander's already quite low. You can see Frost just freely throwing some avalanches down every once in a while, threatening that Sand King just a bit more. Making it so Moonmeander feels uncomfortable to go for an aggressive move.
Push back the wave, hit some harass.
Double avalanche stun as well as the blast in, but Frost is still quite low. He's actually battling it out with Moonmeander. They are going to be able to get the kill on Moonmeander first. The Satyr is quite low and won't be able to finish off Frost either. So push comes to shove in the top lane, and it's Final Tribe to walk away with kill.
That was closer than I thought it was going to be though.
Yeah.
Tiny almost died there, but does manage to get out. And Stan realizes, I have no purpose in this lane. I will go pull.
Good timing there from Pablo and Yono-Sampan. They forced out the time walk earlier from the Faceless Void, and then get the double minus armor on him and just get some good right clicks.
Yeah. Bryle is handling this lane now though, with the advantage that he was given.
Yeah.
It's hard to fault Arrow too much because it was a dual lane for quite some time. And so this is to be expected. Like we talked about, this is kind of okay as long as your other 2 lanes are succeeding as a result.
Yeah.
That's like everyone's least favorite thing that happens in pubs, right? Is when you're getting dual laned and your other lanes aren't succeeding.
You mean that's your least favorite thing?
Projecting.
Moon Meander. He's hoping to be able to get a kill on the Frost here. They've got the double Mud Golems. He actually jumps a little bit farther ahead of his Chen. They still manage to get both combinations, but the blast back coming out from Hanskin.
Goodbye.
Whew, that was only a level 1 Illuminate.
You see what they want to do, though. Like, for everyone watching, this is the kind of play that they want to make, is they want to push in the wave, go for the dive, get aggressive on the Tiny. Even if you don't kill him, you're getting harass off. But this is where the Keeper of the Light is so effective at dealing with that. Because when you commit to something like that, you get the stun, and you're almost always going to get hit by the Illuminate as well.
So, do you, in your expert opinion of mid, you're being sacrificed here as the OD. You look at the other 2 lanes. Are they going well enough to justify this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm upset. I'm seething, and I'm saying very passive aggressively, hope the other lanes are going well. Because mine sure isn't.
This Chen Satyr is sitting in mid. Hope you guys are having a good time.
Hope top is winning.
Well,
hint,
Frost,
hint.
He may not be winning soon. They're going to go for the double Chen Siege Wagon push with a wraparound here. They already got the Bro Strike in, but they're going to bring the Naga Siren in. This is going to turn things around considerably as Moon Meander drops super low. He ends up getting blasted down. And now, AUI 2000 may be the next mark. They do have enough for an ensnare. They're going to lock him into the Unlimited Blast can land, and all of the Chen creeps can get in a position here in AUI. Be a second victim. 5-0. Digital Chaos have failed to pick up a single kill with their Sand King Chen dual lane, which is a rarity.
This is where, if you're Frost, you're starting to ping that somebody was missing.
Yeah.
Now everyone's just passive aggressive to each other, even though you're winning 5-0.
I know someone else who's probably not too happy with the way things are going. Ritsu has been super pressured. His CS doesn't really reflect it, though. He's surprisingly good CS. He's actually ahead of the Tidehunter, despite that dual lane he had to play against all along.
Well, there's no kill combo there. It's just annoying.
Yeah. He was just shoved back constantly.
That'll determine most of how you CS in Dota, is, am I worried about dying? Well, then I'll play back, and I won't get a lot of CS. If I'm not worried about dying, then who really cares? It's annoying, sure, but
yeah,
you'll last.
And SF is coming up to the top lane. They smoked with Stan King. This time around, surely Digital Chaos's dive will go well. Frost spotted out here for a second Burrow Strike. They are going to be able to get the double raises off. Frost will end up going down.
If he doesn't go for the tree.
Yeah. If you just continued to play it back, that whole entire smoke rotation may have failed. SF quick to return back to that mid lane. Doesn't want to be gone from his farm for too long. It's actually going to spot Pablo here and chase him out.
That's actually fine for Final Tribe. You commit the SF to get a kill on a Tiny with 3 other heroes. Are you really feeling that bad about that? Probably not. Because you're just going to TP up there, do the same thing.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, like, you want to transition that into a push. Is the big part. And if you don't get the push, then it feels, it's not wasted necessarily. It's just like a net neutral. Like, it's not as big of an advantage of getting a core kill as it would be.
But the Braille TP back limits some of that downside, right?
Of course.
Well, right.
It's more just like you smoke committed, you're waiting in a tree line, you're giving OD some farm. There's always like a trade away in Dota, right? If you're going for a gank like that, then somebody else is benefiting from you being gone.
So why is the smoke into the Tiny's lane rather than the OD or the Tidehunter?
Because it's easier to grab the tower right after. If you go in the mid lane, the Keeper of the Light's insta-TPing there and laying down blast. You're not going to get anything out of it. I think they were hoping that the Coddle was like jungling or something, and they could transition that immediately into a push.
Yeah, or they would find him out of position as they tower dive, and they would get 2, maybe take the tower.
If you simply just think about how like the jungle's structured, it's so easy to dive into that top lane because it's impossible for Dire to protect that jungle area and that top lane with just 1 ward. They're going to go for it. They've got Chrono too if they need it, but they don't.
They certainly do not.
So this is why you feel the pressure. Like, that's why they're not rotating to any other lane. They're going to this top lane, this off lane every single time because it's simply the easiest to invade consistently. Like, you can make very consistent timings around taking this top tower, then transitioning into mid. Then you take away most of the jungle vision. As opposed to if you go for this bottom lane or this mid lane first, the enemy team reacts in a different way because they have more vision to play around.
So what is Final Tribe supposed to be doing in response?
Go bottom.
That is exactly what they're doing right now. They're going to go for a 3-man smoke to bottom lane. Moon Meander was trying to protect against the solo push of the Tidehunter.
He should know about this, though. Like, Moon's made this play himself, so this should be pretty obvious at this point. Because if they're not defending top, they can only be in one position on the map right now, and it's not mid.
It's like that first mover's advantage, right?
Exactly.
DC, they do it first. They know what's going to happen in return. Moon Meander, he's trying to kind of bait them and waste their time as much as possible, knowing that he has still Burrow Strike into the trees, but he is in a place that is accessible to Final Tribe, and he is going to be caught. No longer having that Sandstorm, cannot escape from this dive. He thought he was going to be clever. He thought he was going to buy a lot of time and still survive. He does end up going down, but he did give them that mid-tier 1 tower. You can see DC.
Think about why that's, if you think about why, like, beyond the base of, like, okay, they kill Moon there, you have to understand that the reason why it's important that you match the timing of the Radiant there is because they'll transition, like I said, to mid lane immediately thereafter. And if you haven't already taken that bottom one, it's very hard to go for an even, like, 1-for-1 trade. Like, you're going to get 2-for-1 there because you've already committed 4 heroes down there, and you're stuck in a position where you can't just decide, okay, well, I guess we're not taking bottom, let's try to defend mid. So then Moon Meander will push out bottom lane. It'll give him half of his Blink Dagger or whatever.
So, to summarize, Final Tribe pretty much just played a bit too slow.
Exactly.
When DC set up their first push at top lane, they needed to immediately head down to bottom.
Yeah. Because now this puts you in a position where you're going to lose this tier 2 tower when you lose this tier 1. Because there's 2 types of pressure and you can't protect your jungle anymore. Because 1 deep ward eliminates the ability for Dire to play in their jungle.
Yeah, and you could see that deep ward by this hard camp. Seeing a lot of the rotations, Dire side.
You can defend this top lane, but you have to send your tankiest hero up here and understand there's a high possibility he dies, but you're okay with that.
Yeah. They're setting 2 heroes behind their tankiest guy just to make sure he can push this back out. Still, though, Final Tribe are getting some movement around the map. They've got Era farming up jungle, and Frost is going to head down to the bottom lane to farm there. Moon Meander is halfway to his Blink Dagger. He's hoping his team will buy him the space to finish that up. They're just going to go for the chrono. All right, that's going to be met by a sleep, but they do have... Oh, he barely caught the SF at the side there. I thought he was going to be able to get all 3 raises in, but Bryle snagged just ever so slightly by the Song of the Siren. His damage slowed down.
One big CD ult for another.
And this is what we were kind of talking about after the draft, right? Is both the Naga Siren with that song is a great counter to the Chronosphere, as well as the Tidehunter later on can kind of match Ravage into Chrono.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're getting a bit of a push here, Final Tribe. Trying to see if they can take this offlane tower, especially with the Chronosphere on cooldown. There's no reason they can't.
It's a really nice tower for them to grab. Get back control of some of your jungle. You place your own deep ward, so you see the movement of DC. Because this game, Dota's wholly about vision, right? And being able to push towers means that you can get better and better vision. Because teams, they're going to smoke very aggressively. If they make moves out, you'll see them first.
We have some fun challenging anybody to a fight if they want to protect this tier 1 tower. The SF is going to come up to the top lane. They manage to get a stun out. Ravage to follow this one up. They're going to try and blow up Ritsu with the Ensnare and the Illuminate Blast. They will manage to take Noon. Here comes the Ice Blast. Bryle on pursuit, though. He's going to go for the back line. He sees Yonasapan. He knows he's already dead. He wants extra kills, and that's why Frost's going to take a brunt of the nukes here. Not quite enough, but a double damage hit should be enough to be able to finish off Frost. He's going to hide in the trees, go for the TP up. Bryle misses that. He thought he was actually hidden in the other cubby of the trees TPing away.
It's a really nice play by him. Picks up the tree, tucks it away, holds his breath and hides.
And it works. That was all time. They traded 1 for 1. Used a Ravage, yes, but it was time for Era to farm up in this bottom lane.
The trade there, of course, being the carry for the offlaner, but if you just look at the relative net worths, it's going to be worth it.
Yeah. After all, Void isn't the hard character here, right?
Yeah.
He's sort of the initiator hero for... They see Bryle. They're going to catch him. Avalanche. They stall for a second, just long enough for Frost to be able to close that distance to get the stun on top of the Sentry. That is a gigantic kill. Bryle is easily top of the net worth chart and is still there even after his death.
That was such a sick trap. Gotta respect that one. They know that he's going to go for a play on this OD, try to go for the Shadow Blade blow up.
Yeah.
They anticipate it. They get there first. They're so fast about it, too. That's the thing about Final Tribe League. For the most part, they play these games very quickly. Very team-oriented Dota. Whereas you can tell that DC is a little bit more individually focused, which is why the Deuces strats work for them so well, because it almost forces them into a position where they have to be together.
What do you think about this Helmet Dominator build for Yonasapan?
I think it always you take away one of the Chen creeps,
Radiant's middle tower is under
you get
attack.
siege wagons or trolls, and you push out the waves. Because you can tell Jonas likes to play the style where he's constantly threatening one of the side lanes. And if you're constantly threatening one of the side lanes, it forces somebody back, and you're winning the vision game as a result.
Yeah.
Like, the more that I see Final Tribe and play, I'm a pretty big fan of their playstyle. I think DC is very good too. They just have like these moments where they just lapse judgment a little bit.
Oh, that is a Misburrow strike on Hanskin. He's going to get the blinding light pushback here. Now, he may still die 5 seconds until the next Burrow strike is up.
Top tower is
Or
under
at least he's going to waste a lot of time on the way in. Frost actually going to turn, try and blow up Moon Meander with Chronosphere and a missed Ice Blast. What's happening, Digital Chaos? At least they've caught Frost on the wrong side of that Chronosphere, surrounded and sandwiched by Digital Chaos heroes.
Moon gets out.
Wow.
OD uses his ult too.
Radiant's top tower
Well, that
is
was...
under attack.
That's what I mean though. Like DC, you can tell there's like sparks of really good play, but they've just been
They've
whiffing
caught
more.
Jonas Fun. Look at Moon Meander. He's just going to go straight for the epicenter on top of Jonas Fun. He does have 17 magic wand charges as well as a Ravage. So he, if he really wants to, could escape from this, but I don't think you want to blow Ravage.
No, I think you die here. Make it costly, but
Well, Digital Chaos, they turn things around pretty quickly,
Radiant's middle tower
despite a double fail in that bottom lane. They managed to get a kill.
the attempt was good though. Like the idea behind what they did was solid. It was just the execution was just like a little bit off.
Yeah.
And that's consistently kind of been the problem for them in all 3 of these games.
Pablo, apparently a Meteor Hammer connoisseur, is going to go for 1 on the Naga Siren as well.
Is it better this game because of the lack of blinks?
Dire's
Yeah.
top tower is
We
under
saw Naga Siren Meteor Hammer that failed miserably because of all the blink daggers. Here, Void, his time walk is slow enough you can hit him. Maybe you can throw a strike out, and you can still activate BKB if you're a Brile.
Get out of there, Wild Wing Rippers. You were meant for more in this level.
Sentry thrown down, they're going to catch Moon Meander. He does manage to get a throw strike out. Oh, they're just going to blow the Ravage here. The rest of the team, I'm not sure if Final Tribe really expected that, but they're still going to collect the kill on the Sand King's head.
Dire's top tower
And
is
they
under
will still take this tier 1 tower as well. Now it's all split push time for Brile. He's going to get a tier 2 at top lane in return. And that brings him very close to his BKB now. Just needs one more part. That's the recipe.
Chen just farming. I like it. I think AUI understands like he can't play a standard Chen game against a Keeper of the Light. You're not going to just simply push down towers. So transition a little bit more into a farmer. Natural habitat. Remember his time on EG where he was a very greedy form.
Yeah, his Techies was the most split pushing 4 position I've seen.
Yeah. I like that he's adjusted in this game.
Yeah. DC, maybe learning from their previous games, are going to group up a bit more often. Go for the Chronosphere kill onto Yonosapon. Now Pablo is about to get here with a Song of Siren. See if he can catch the rest of these heroes before they blow up Yonosapon. 400 HP with Ice Blast on him. That is enough for him to survive. Yonosapon, or excuse me, Pablo, great reads so far of what DC have been trying to accomplish.
Yeah, it's not coincidence that he was able to get there twice like that. Good play overall.
How does he know? What's the logic behind always going and killing the Tidehunter with your Chronosphere?
I think he understands that his Tidehunter is still very killable, and he is the highest net worth in the game. But you have to have some decent inkling of that. So if DC is going to go for a play, it's going to be a high-value target that is shoving out the waves, and that's going to be Pablo.
Yeah.
If Pablo, or sorry, Jonas and Fon. If it's always Jonas and Fon that gets sent out, then it becomes easier. But let's talk a little bit more about DC, like what they're going to do. I
Okay.
think probably wait for your BKB. And once you're in a position where you have BKB, it makes a lot of the heroes on the side of Final Tribe less value.
Yeah. OD and Tiny, a lot of their damage disappears.
Like, what's OD supposed to do against a BKB? He's got to get more farm. Like, he needs all of his kite items to be able to handle that.
And Ritsu's making sure that he's going to remain relevant with a Battle Fury build, which he just finishes up.
It's late, though,
It is a late one.
but still not bad considering the rest of the game. Like, everyone's timings have been slowed down.
Sand King setting up in the top lane here. Now, he needs a little bit more. I'm not even sure if an Ice Blast Epicenter combination would be enough to kill this OD. He's currently sitting at 1600 HP, so he's just going to pop out. Make sure the creep wave shoved in. While Final Tribe's smoke actually fails, they were going to sit behind the Tidehunter. Not just a Naga Siren Sleep, but the full-on Tiny and Coddle combo as well. They're actually looking to fight, but instead they're just going to go for a tier 2 tower.
That's the evolution of the plays, is if you haven't sat behind your Tiny in a while and they expect only like 1 or 2 years to be there, bring everyone this time. Like, mix it up. Don't become too obvious.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Right, I was waiting. Even though he hasn't had a lot of kills with this, he has threatened the map a lot.
Yeah. Era's had to play a lot of jungling because of this SF. The only time he's really shown up in lane is when he's been super cautious, or he's had one of those heroes behind him ready for the trap. Now, Jonas and Fawn is going to find AUI's Chen. Really? No? They're right next to each other and they're just barely outside of each other's vision. AUI spots him on the creep wave. He's like, oh, Jesus, I don't want to be there. He's so close to his Aghanim Scepter, too.
He's going to leave his creeps up to skip the next wave, potentially.
Silver Edge is the build for the SF. So looking to break the Tidehunter.
It's interesting, considering they have a lot of ways to deal with that already. Like, the Void Chrono is one of the better options to deal with heroes like Tidehunter, aside from, like, Disruptor or Doom.
Ice Blast is kind of another good one, right? Just because it allows you to be able to burst down a hero super fast.
Yeah. Both teams seem relatively content with the pace, though. I know DC is because they've got the heroes for it.
This is a better position than Game 1, right?
Sure.
Where they had the... Again, they were matched up against an OD late game, but...
A lot of this will come down to, like, how the team fights start. Like, can they get a start on the Naga? Or do they have to keep opening up on the Tidehunter, who's the hero that shows himself the most?
I know a lot of it's going to come down to the play, where the Chronosphere lands, if we can counter it. But who do you favor in that scenario? Do you think a team has the edge?
I think that it's almost always going to be DC that gets the initiation.
Okay.
So Final Tribe kind of has to outplay them a little bit with their positioning. Because if the OD is in a position where he can astral somebody out, like when they're getting gone on for the initial burst, and get out himself, then they're in a really strong position. Because they have to kite a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're the team that gets initiated on with this kind of lineup, you're going to get started on.
They were trying to sneak a Roshan, but there was a little birdie who told Final Tribe what was going on. It was Jonas and Fawn Satyr that was sitting inside the Roshan pit.
Yeah. You notice Stan King's gone double bracer every single game, by the way?
Yeah, dude, that guy is all about the extra stats.
The Be Alive life?
Yeah. Who needs upgraded boots?
If you're going to be the hard 5.
Oh, a Centaur stun. Avalanche not quite catching him, and they have the setback from the Chen. It is 5-9 here. 24 minutes in to this Game 3 between Digital Chaos and Final Tribe.
Did they de-award both wards?
Yeah, I think they did.
That's really nice. It
Yeah,
shows you where DC's next priorities are as well.
DC are super blind now. Final Tribe have some decent aggressive vision, especially that one sitting in the radiant jungle on the cliff.
Yeah. When you place both wards there, it's very clear, like, hey guys, let's try to go for some Roshan action.
Yeah. Well, those Shen creeps aren't too useful if they're just going to be farmed up by Tiny all the time.
Almost a Blink Dagger completed now in this Naga Siren. Positioning, like we talked about, is going to be so huge to this game.
And it's kind of hard with the decrease in the range of the Song of Siren to completely counter the Chronosphere.
DD Shadow Fiend.
But now, with a Blink Dagger, it'll be a whole lot easier. They need to be able to get into the Roshan pit, though. Yonosapan sending his Satyr, revealing the fact that Roshan is super low. 1,000 HP, that's all it is. They're going to try and slow down Yonosapan. The Yule Scepter's going to go down as well. Avalanche out. Can they actually snatch up the Aegis? Bryle is the one to grab it. Just barely in time. Pablo, they're going to go for the stun and blow up Ritsu. They're going to try and get with his Meteor Hammer, toss back into Era as well. Blow him up with the Chronosphere. What? They let him get that off. The Ravage goes down, controlling a lot of the heroes. But here comes Moon Commander with a big epicenter. Bryle finally goes down. But that is just the Aegis. So the final tribe, they want to reset here. Avalanche straight onto Bryle. They're going to try and actually take him out here, but they don't have any counter vision. They're going to lose out on that kill on Bryle because of that. Their supports were out of the fight. They had no counter vision as a result. And DC, they just robbed that Roshan. They barely got the Aegis in time. In fact, I think it was a snatch. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I don't even think that's that bad for Tribe. They got rid of the Aegis. They got the last hit on it too, which nullifies that advantage. And they managed to kill the Void in exchange for the knockback. But that was like an awkward engagement. But I don't know if that was the fight that DC necessarily expected. Yeah. What made it even worse was that Ritsu was able to get the Chrono off at like the last possible second.
Final Tribe kill him, then they probably wiped that team fight.
Yes. They also missed the first blast because of the sleep.
Yeah.
Like things were just a little bit off because they thought there was still time to go potentially for the Aegis. And it was close.
Really smart the way that DC dealt with the Tidehunter, who was trying to walk in first the Satyr Banisher slow from the Purge, and then the Yule Scepter as well.
Close game from both sides. Good plays all around. Like Moon Meander kept that fight going for a while.
What do you think about this? Yonosapan's going for a Yule Scepter.
Interesting.
Okay, bye-bye Moon Meander. Any theory on that?
Just extra survivability, another form of catch.
Yeah. It's just a Meteor Hammer push.
So he's going to go for the Shadow Blade for another way to open up. It's cheap damage, but he needs a BKB really bad.
Yeah.
I think Bryle, he waited for the second life, right? To get the Aegis off?
Say that again?
He waited for the second life? To get the BKB off, I meant.
Oh, he didn't have BKB at the time, I believe. So, he's still got that full 10-second duration for his Magic Immunity item. Final Tribe, is it smoke time? Hanskin smokes all of them. They're going to push out. Apparently feeling with the mid and bottom lane pushing in a decent amount, that they are free to catch DC unaware. They might be right, but it looks like DC is playing pretty cautious around a smoke. Tiny and the OD both revealing themselves, just going to kill some Chen creeps and push into the tier 2. DC not really in position to defend right away, so this will guarantee at least some free damage. We'll see if DC want to take this team fight. Yeah, they are. The Void's going to TP in. Moon Meander's got a haste rune as well.
Gonna send Yoda first. Stun next, but
Centaur stun, follow up as well.
Silver
They
though.
broke the Tidehunter. They need to get him out. Poor staff away.
Ritsu thought about committing for that, but
Nice burn there from Hanskin with the Mana Leak onto Ritsu. Gonna be difficult for the Void to play around without that BKB, and they actually just get the deny on that tier 2 tower. The Yule Scepter, as well as the Avalanche, controlling up Moon Meander. Another Force Staff. He's gonna go back in as the Chen was sending him back there. Did he get dispelled somehow? I am so certain I saw the send back.
maybe you're crazy, dude.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe I am. I'm glad they picked up a gem, though. It felt like Final Tribe had such a vision advantage for so long. It was when they double countered the Roshan wards.
The interesting part was that DC still managed to grab that Roche.
Yeah. Game 3 is certainly slowed down compared to Game 1, which is kind of one-sided. Game 2 was quite the firecracker. Went down to a throne rush from Digital Chaos with a Divine Rapier Dusa. Barely able to close out that game. A couple of good plays by Final Tribe and some sloppiness from DC made it so that game was probably more competitive than it should have been. This Game 3, though, feels like it's going to be an even matchup as we go into the late game. That was one of the downsides of game number 1. While DC were drying out the game, they were ultimately against Enigma in an OD late game that couldn't have felt good. Here, they've got a Void with an Ancient Apparition and SF to farm into the late game as well, so they will at least have some strong team fight to play around. And Hanskin with 0 deaths. Didn't realize that our keeper of the Pablo? He has caught Ritsu. Do they have the counter vision to spot him, though? He's in the side. He's going to get away.
Nice attempt. Moon's just hunting for wards during this time because he knows that everyone is at that top area.
Yeah.
I like it.
He's cleared out a lot of the vision. If you are... if you're Final Tribe, you're probably thinking about the same, right? So you've got the gem on Pablo. So you can start throwing your illusions around. This game feels like it's gonna come to a climax here in just one big smoke team fight where someone finally gets the initiation. Most of the smokes have missed so far on either side. Failed to connect as it's been just a little bit too obvious.
DC was waiting on a BKB for Void, but they're just going to go ahead, take this fight. No real major items. They just feel like their lanes are at least in a good position to go for the smoke. Getting quite aggressive here. If they were to go for the left, they would see Jonas and Fun here.
That would be an excellent kill. We've seen how many times they prioritized him with the Chronosphere attempted kills.
Yeah, but this mid lane should become much more apparent now. Let's see what the response is from Final Tribe as now with everything marching forward, this tier 2.
I feel like this is deja vu. We just watched this from Final Tribe like 5 minutes ago where they smoke up, head mid, start pushing the mid tier 2. The difference is that Final Tribe were in a bit better position to defend, and DC will not actually be able to take that objective away.
BKB complete on this OD. Ag's almost done too on this Keeper of the Light.
All right, so smokes aside, like these smoke plays, they're just not working out. So is there an item on one side or the other that says, all right, we're taking this fight, I don't care anymore. We're going to go, or is it just a timing? Is it just the next Roshan?
I thought it was going to be the 10-second BKBs, but...
Yeah. That apparently was not the case.
Yeah.
Understandable if DC want to wait after all the BKB you emphasized how important it is for that hero. Moon Meander spotted out here. They're going to be able to catch him. Frost managed to jump right on top of him. Gets almost the first damage. Gush actually snags him. Grab that gem, boys. What are you doing?
Homies? There's no way that an AA should be able to just walk up.
All right, the Swedes are merciful. They're going to let you have your shiny bauble back.
That would have made it really worth.
Wow.
Radiant are scanning.
Huh.
Well, alrighty then. Small bit of action and back to Roshan, which is up in a minute and a half. So Digital Chaos will have plenty of time to revive on the Sand King and formulate a response. Don't want to give away an Aegis and cheese. And I have the BKB now from the Void. So I think they've got everything they kind of want. I mean, a butterfly would be nice for Bryle, but BKB will still do its work against most of this team. Yeah, actually finish up the butterfly now.
They're not really going to get anything as a result, though. Do manage to finish the Aghanim Scepter now on the Keeper of the Light, though.
It's kind of cute play. Oh, they
here comes Ritsu.
Ritsu. He's gonna go for it. Yule Scepter trying to buy himself a little bit of time. Oh no, no, Ritsu. With another Chronosphere, that's going to be a BKB used by
Era's
Bryle
down,
to
though.
bring down Era. They can catch more. Ritsu's going to be able to get that slow onto Pablo. Moonmeander in hot pursuit is going to be able to catch him with Throw Strike. Nice double stun combination coming out from Frost. The send back is there, though. Managed to get the Kato to pull him away. Yonasapan still going to try and follow that one up, though. Has a Ravage still holding on to it until the BKB wears out from Ritsu, and Snare catches him. Maybe this is their time to throw down that Ravage, and it is. They managed to catch a couple heroes in the back line, looking to be able to bring down Ritsu, but the burst damage is just not enough. Now the sleep has sent back from Chen, stops the epicenter initiation, and Final Tribe. They're still going to fight this one out. The Meteor Hammer managed to get the stun on the 2. Burrow Strike out onto Naga-san. They're going to go for Bryle. BKB popped by Frost, tries to lay into 3 of these heroes, but as his BKB wears out, the Chen send back keeps on being thrown around. Ghoul Scepter, Moonmeander barely dodges and blinks away ahead of that stun, or the slow from the Ursa.
A lot used from both sides. But it's just going to be Era that goes down in the beginning to nothing aside from the Shadow Fiend, and there's just not enough damage without that OD. Felt like everyone used everything, only
And
for nothing to...
Nothing really happened.
Yeah, because the OD died way before.
Yeah.
Bryle with a nice pickup.
Okay, well that's Roche, maybe, for DC. Final Tribe could skedaddle into the pit really quickly if they wanted to, but no Ravage. Probably feels bad.
No Ravage, no sleep. They're still going to try, though.
Yonasapan dance around the pit, but as they hear the Roshan bounty claim, they back up. So
It's like these little things. If they had, maybe if they had the other gem, they would have been able to kill faster. They would have been able to win the vision fight for that engagement.
Yeah.
Just remember the Sand King lost it, then they would just pick it up again. And now there's a pipe completed on this Chen. So these engagements that were hard for Final Tribe get even more difficult. Without this OD in the fight, though, it makes it very lackluster. Like, even though you hit a really sick Ravage...
Honestly, I thought they were just going to back out once they lost their OT.
Thought so, too. It didn't end up going anywhere, though.
Yeah.
That was about as, like, net even. I guess they wasted some cooldown, so DC was able to go into Roshan. But DC is now in a favorable position, despite the score being, like, 7-12 and not a whole lot of action happening. Bryle's been taking advantage of all the time that fights weren't happening. And he just continues to further his lead. And that pickoff onto the OD was massive, actually.
Yeah, Era. I actually didn't see what happened there, but Era cannot afford to let that happen to him.
Yeah, it looked like he was really far out from the rest of his team. Just thought that if Chrono was down, that he'd be invincible.
Bryle almost at 20k net worth. He's doing his best to carry Digital Chaos through the Fire and Flames and missed Chronospheres.
You can't ask for a better initiation for Final Tribe. Like, Jonas and Fan outplayed him pretty badly.
Yeah.
And it still didn't really lead to a one fight for them.
There's the Chronosphere. Maybe just to keep her the light, but it's a kill that they want.
It's a gem, too.
It's a gem, and
That's a mega value fight.
I wonder if, as a result, they'll be able to take that tier 2 mid. Pablo, though, is becoming the split pusher that we saw in Game 2 from his Monkey King. Attempted Song of the Siren. Moonmeander's going to interrupt it with the sleep. Pablo holding on to it a little bit longer here. Now maybe forced into it, but it's going to be struck up. They're going to try and get the burst, and he waited too long. Oh, dear.
Now
Pablo.
it's Final Tribe that are making these errors that are starting to add up.
Yeah, they really are. Yonasapan. He's got a blink. He's good.
Losing the gems, though. It all comes back. When you lost the first gem, you'd be in a position where you have a second gem as a backup.
Yep.
But now you have neither of them. No gems.
Apparently that's a little face, I guess, whatever it is. That is their flag for Final Tribe. It's a face, right? 2 eyes.
It's like a dude.
Maybe they need to add some glasses for him.
I'm not even going to react to that. I didn't enjoy that.
You had your dinosaur joke.
My dinosaur
Let me
joke
have mine.
was sick.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Digital
attack.
Chaos in good position here. Full control of the map. taking a tier 2 at their leisure. Probably going to go for the mid tier 2 next. No real lanes are being split pushed too heavily that they have to worry about it. It's just pretty much the Tiny pushing out top.
It's a Glimmer Cape on Moon. Interesting. They want to use the Aegis though.
Is Chronos here? Yeah. Caught the Keeper of the Light. Going to stop by Pablo. See if they can actually get out. They'll be epicenter. They're going to try and catch some heroes here, but Pablo is ahead of the Burrow Strike. Oh, mistimed slightly by Moon Meander.
Shouldn't they fight this now?
They absolutely should, especially if they can catch Moon Meander Yule Scepter on himself to see if he can dodge some of the damage coming out from Frost. Everybody on King of the Hill apparently is Ritsu just goes right in
Battle
to try
Dome.
and challenge Frost, and if BKB is going to wear out, he's taking so much damage from Bryle, and Jonas and Fawn can do nothing about it, but now the BKBs have worn out, and the buyback is there from the Tiny, so DC just need to escape, and again, the Chen sendbacks are coming in clutch. Moon Meander, no sendback for him. He will be the victim of the buyback from the final tribe.
Naga still pushing forward. She's going to grab Stan King.
Managed to get him just ahead of that Veil. We'll get the meter hammer on top of him. He'll rack up some intelligence for Era as well. So that's 2 kills for the buyback. And a position where their top lane was already kind of shoving in. So they're going to be able to go for a tier 2 push.
That was so hype. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Frost actually just came right back, and apparently he's going to catch Bryle. Nice stun from the Centaur, throwing down the Ravage. Now, he managed to get the Aegis heal. That was actually a decent amount, but the send back, oh, the burst coming in from OD. Send back Chen, not quite good enough. He ends up going down just before
gonna
he
lose
goes back
everyone.
to base, and now they're going to lose Ritsu as well. Final
DC.
tribe, they go from one little fight where they catch a Sand King, and they catch 3 more directly afterwards. Digital Chaos got greedy. They're going to get punished. Now a full lane of racks potentially.
I'm in disbelief that that just happened. They were just gifted a fight. Bryle didn't even have BKB for that engagement. No Aegis. And once again, in a game repeat, they didn't even need anything to
No
take
buybacks?
racks. Yeah, this is just going to be...
This all 3? They're going to try and fight this one. Nice. 3-man Burrow Strike. Send back from the Chen. Ice Blast a decent amount of damage.
It's not going to deter them.
Yeah,
Without the
final
2 big
tribe.
damage dealers.
They're just going to keep going. They've got a half a minute to be able to take that top lane of racks.
They're going for it right now. Pablo, he's dealing with the bottom wave still. They're getting a little bit greedy here, trying to do 2 things at once, but they still have such a long period of time. They know that DC doesn't have buyback.
Turn
If
into
they
a little
had it-
piggy. Ancient Apparition goes down. AUI, he's going to be next. Food. Oh, the stun from Moon Meander is not going to be enough to stop that buyback from the Ancient Apparition. They're doing everything they can to distract Final Tribe from being able to take this racks. Epicenter is up. Ice Blast is coming in as well.
They were in
That
such
is
a good
1
position.
melee. Another 2-man Burrow Strike. The Song
Sleep
of
is gonna
Siren,
secure this.
it's gonna stall down everyone.
Yeah.
has fallen. Radiant's bottom
Gone.
has fallen. The Dire now
That is mega creeps. And that happened in a hurry. When they marched up that cliff, even after the kills, because of the way I think they changed it when it comes to like net worth and the way when you get kills, they were still behind in net worth as they were hitting racks. That's DC. That is a flat.
Like an anvil, just dropped straight down to the ground. Win probability. Did it just tick below 100%?
It's
Apparently, the Final Tribe have 101% chance to win this game.
yeah, this is looking like some Enron stock. Oh my lord. What did I just watch? What happened? I was like, oh man, Final Tribe, they can't deal enough damage in these fights.
Yo,
It's fine.
I gotta get me a hotkey for that win probability graph. That's hype.
Radiant's bottom shrine
Smoke
is
up,
under
Final
attack.
Tribe. They've got Megas. And if they can actually get some sort of pick, which they do, Scythify is thrown down onto the SF, but a beautiful Chronosphere locks down a couple of heroes. He didn't manage to catch Frost, though, and he's still trying to lay his damage into Bryle. Bryle gets off his ultimate, and they're going to try and get the kill onto Era, but he managed to pop his BKB, and now Bryle, healed up by the Shrine, the Song of Siren.
Here
They
comes the
resetting.
blast.
Now the BKBs are worn out. They're going to be able to get a huge Ravage with the OD drop down as well. That's going to be 3 falling as Moon Meander. The last one cleans up. Ritsu managed to get himself out, but with the damage dealer gone, Digital Chaos will call it for this game 3.
That does not feel good to lose in this fashion.
Oh. This should have been an epic back and forth game between these two teams, and instead